Good morning. My name is Christian Hope, and today I'm going to be presenting on weight groups. So, as we have seen in the last video, I want you to go routines. You use the time from the time library, but the time library is what you call it, not really a good way to tell function to weight, right? To halt or weight. So for what weight groups does, gives it lets the main uh it makes the functions cooperate a little bit better. I, yeah. So let's get into it. Uh, for this, we're going to be just weekly clearing a function. Func. Uh, let's use the same one that we did last time. So func food. Func food. It's gonna be that. And it's gonna be saying fmt that print then uh, I like apples. And then func drink fnt that print line I like soda. Right now, I call these in here. Let's be food. And then drink. Right? Now, for weight groups, what you do with weight groups to create a weight group, first thing you need to do is the call the the library of weight groups. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be creating a variable WG for weight groups. And then we're going to say sync dot, because sync is a library which has the weight groups in it. See, as you can see, right? So that is what we're going to be doing first. We're going to be saying sync weight groups. So now when we use var, when we use WG, everything that with WG uh, is it will be saying, okay, this is a weight group. Um, when the main house, you guys can be executed, and then yeah, and that is how we will be doing weight groups. This is a more efficient way to halt time. Instead of using a time library, you use weight groups, right? So now we're going to be adding the two functions to the weight groups. So you're going to be saying WG dot add. There's going to be saying two since it's two functions, right? So now when we go to the functions here, in these parameters you're going to be passing in WG, right? to let the compiler know that uh, these functions here are in the wait groups. So you're gonna say wg sync dot wait group, and there'll be a reference. And then for the food, for these functions here, since you have a reference, a dereference here, you're going to need to pass a address of something. And that is why we have here. So these are like, this is like an array, right? And then for the foods, for you to call the WG wait groups, you need to access the array. So I need to pass it the address. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to create a Go routine to make these functions independent of their self. And what we're going to be passing into these functions is the address of WG, because we declared we declared an array of 2, so we're going to need for these to access the array. So we're going to be passing in the address of WG, right? Same thing for the drink function. So what we're going to be doing is implementing a defer. Now what a defer does is it before the function ends, defer the it later defer the ends of the function, the end of the function. So what we're going to be saying is defer the function until WG until WG is finished or done. So that is basically what we're going to be doing, is just saying the function will be defer until WG has finished, then the function will end, right? And the same thing for over here, we're going to be saying the WG, the asterisk sync that wait groups, right? And same thing over here, we're going to be using the defer or defer WG that done, right? So now we have created a wait group, right? I say it goes to wait group counter. If the counter becomes 0, all Go routines block on wait are released. If the counter goes negative, add panics, right? So now to delay main, because remember we have to delay the main to let the functions operate, right? So to delay main, we're going to be saying WG that wait. We're going to say those literally tells main to wait until these Go files have been completed, right? And this is what we have wait group. So now if I run it, let's say run new terminal, and if I say go if I say go run that, let's say I like soda, I like apples. Remember, the functions are still independent, but using wait groups is a better way instead of using time, because you do not know how long will the main sleep. So we just say that instead of sleeping for a second, and then the functions get completed in milliseconds, all we do is say, wait till these functions are completed, right? Wait till these functions have been completed, then you can end instead of having the main wait for so long. So if I say it again, remember they they are not thing. So see, changes to apples and soda instead of soda and apples, right? Instead of soda and apples. Okay, thank you guys, and this will be the end of the recording. Have a great day.